Welcome to Threads Podcast, Life Unfiltered. We are so excited that you are joining us for this amazing episode 188, which is the second to last in a season. Threads Podcast, if you're new or if you just need a refresher, is a space for unfiltered dialogue about faith, mental health, and uncomfortable conversations. Mr. Jason, what are we doing tonight?
Tonight is personal format, like Mike said, episode 188, which is freaking crazy. I'm excited to record this. I'm excited for next week with the ladies. We have a special TikTok we're gonna do.
We are?
Yeah, we talked about it.
I forgot about that.
Already?
Yeah,
I can't talk to you about it now. It's a surprise.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's with all four people.
It can also be a surprise for me as well, which I like.
No,
surprises.
we need prepare. Well, I can prepare for
Okay.
it. Anyways, I want to thank our Patreon members.
Woo-hoo.
I'm super excited. Thanks for Megan Denef for joining, and then Kate and Joe. We appreciate that. As you know, Joe has been a friend of ours, a podcasting friend, and I'm sad to see he's hanging up the headphones, which we do have to get back to him about that.
I know. I was thinking about the day. And are we spoiling his announcement that he's hanging up the mic and headphones by announcing it on this show?
That's a good question. Well, hopefully, did he post it already, or did he just post a Patreon?
I don't know.
He posted a Patreon.
Oh, okay. He posted to Patreon, which is good then.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay,
So,
that's fine.
but
then.
anyways, Joe's been amazing and such a great friend, and I'm sad he's hanging up the headphones, but I'm excited for what's next for him. And I told him, I said, don't cancel your account. Put it on storage for like $5 a month, so at least the episodes are hosted there.
Yeah, and people can go back and listen to all this good stuff, like my episode.
Right. And you never know when if he decides to come back, he can pick right up where he left off and don't have to reformat anything or upload logos, or it's just all right there.
Couldn't he switch to a free host like my old podcast was, so it can just sit there and he doesn't have to pay the $5 a month?
Yeah, he could. I don't know, but I mean, it's $5. Why not stay with someone that you trust, not shady, whatever the hell it is that's owned by Spotify.
They're not shady.
They are shady. You don't even. They're trying to get rid of RSS feeds.
Well, of course, everyone is.
No, they're not. RSS. You don't know shit. RSS feeds is how you own your content.
I know.
All right. Anyways.
So, Jason, since you wanted something the same from episode to episode, we are going to do Am I the A-hole again, because you wanted something similar. So we're going to do this, and it was fun listening back to this part.
And I did not look at him because Mike specifically said in the rundown, don't look at before.
Well, because I think some of the fun is you hearing it and
100%.
being like, what in the world?
Yeah, me like my wheels are turning like.
Yeah, it's even better without you reading. So, no, not out loud, but like silently, because there's more of a reaction from listening.
Oh, I thought you were cutting on me.
No, you're probably better at reading this than me, other than if there was a certain word. Anyways,
authenticity. I just spit everywhere.
But you said it though.
I did. Sort of. I kind of spit it out. That's exactly what happened.
Oh, we're gonna be a good show tonight.
Yep, for sure.
Not gonna be the worst one ever.
Nope.
Okay. So am I the a-hole for having my husband drive me back to shore when I wasn't allowed to fish? I, 32 female, rented a boat 2 weeks ago to go fishing. My husband suggested we celebrate his birthday at the same time, which is coming right up, because he loves boating. I had no problem with it, but the whole rental was originally so I could fish. He invited our friend Greg along, which is no big deal, but it soon turned into Greg driving everywhere and telling us to relax and have a few beers. He refused to sit in one spot for more than 10 to 15 minutes. I wasn't able to fish at all. Every time I would have a line out for more than 5 minutes, he would ask if we were ready to move on to the next spot. At one point, even bringing us to a crowded sandbar, where obviously I wasn't able to fish. Roughly 3 hours in, I asked if they could stop driving around so I could do some fishing, and he immediately stopped the boat. No questions asked. But it got really awkward after that. Greg made comments about how he wished he liked to fish so he could understand the hype of sitting in one single spot while on a boat, because he can't stand it. Heavy sign and pacing on the boat, etc. I know for a fact he wasn't trying to be a dick. He truly just couldn't stand sitting in one spot so that I could fish. So my husband at this point was getting uncomfortable with how awkward Greg was. unintentionally making things, and said, "Well, babe, are you about ready to move on to the next spot?" At this point, I just asked them to bring me back to the shore. Both of them started protesting and apologizing, saying it was fine and that we could stay there longer. But at this point, I was so over the entire trip because I didn't get to fish any more than 25 minutes at this point. They bring me back to the shore, still apologizing, and Greg said that he was sorry for ruining my fishing trip. And I just said it was fine and walked off to my car without saying a word to them. Well, after my husband got home, he was really quiet. And when I asked why, he said that it was a bummer that I chose to leave instead of enjoying the boat for what it was. He said he understood my frustrations, but he couldn't understand why I took it to the level of ruining the entire day and leaving him on the boat what was meant for us. Greg paid for half the cost I spent to make up for it too. Now I'm wondering if I'm really in the wrong, considering the whole point of me getting on the boat was to go fishing. Am I the a-hole?
Man, that is wordy.
Well, yes.
No, I don't think she is, in my opinion. I mean, first of all, why did they invite Greg? I mean, was he just and then I didn't realize it until after that he didn't really want to fish. He was just there to like drive him around or something.
Yeah, to go boating, I guess.
Well, I can feel his pain with not. I hate sitting still like that. I would be the same way. I'm like, all right, nothing here. Let's go.
But if somebody said, "Hey, we're going to go fishing on a boat," you probably wouldn't go.
No, I would go.
Okay.
But I wouldn't do what he did.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, in that moment, I don't like to do that. If I was to go, I would just drink beer and just
get shit faced.
Well, not shit faced. You have some micro trauma around alcohol, because every time I bring up drinking or anything, like get shit faced, like you can have beers and not get shit faced. I had a glass of whiskey on Saturday night. I wasn't shit faced.
Why isn't there whiskey here?
Because I'm fasting.
You'll never drink with me ever. Whenever I want to.
No, maybe your birthday. I will. But anyways, so I don't think she's the a-hole. I think he's the a-hole.
Yeah.
I actually don't even think Greg's the a-hole.
No, it's not Greg's fault.
I think it's the husband.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that he was like, "Hey, we're going to go boating. Can we make it about my birthday? And I want to bring somebody."
And he should have told Greg, "Hey, calm your Oh, never mind. I almost said, you know what I was going to say? I'll edit it out. I was going to say, calm your tits.
Yeah. What's bad about that saying?
I mean, yeah.
Wow, we're getting PC around
No,
here.
we're not. Oh, Mr. I won't say a-hole.
Well, that's not politically correct. That's just not being a jerk.
Yeah. But no, I think that he should have said, "Greg, bro, like chill out. Like we're out here to fish."
And wouldn't you know though, if it was your friend, and like certain friends are just hyper.
Yeah.
There's certain people that if I knew like Natalie wanted to go fishing, I wouldn't bring them.
Yeah. I definitely have people that I'm like, yeah, I have a buddy that loves to fish. I'm like, I'm never going fishing with him because he doesn't shut the up. So yeah.
See, I don't think I'd bring you fishing either, because either you would get annoyed and I could tell you're being antsy and like trying to be calm, or you just.
No, I mean, I've gone fishing with Meg and the kids, and I just grab a couple beers and I just chill.
You just throw your line.
I don't even fish. I'm the boater. I'm the driver. I just drive them wherever they want to go. They're like, okay, let's move. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Nice. So you drink and drive, man.
Yeah.
Jason,
did you know you can drink and drive?
There's a certain amount, probably.
Exactly. You can have a beer. I could probably have 2 beers and still be under the limit.
Now, why is it in cars you can't, but in boats you can?
No, you can't either. The limit is the same for boats and for cars.
Yes, but like you can't have an open container in a car, but you can in a boat.
I don't think you can as a driver.
Oh.
I think the other people can.
Okay.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, no one in the car, which is dumb. You know, you go to Texas, everyone can drink except the driver.
Really?
Yeah, lots of states are like that.
Huh. Good old Texas. Yeah, in Michigan, if anyone, then it's all busted. And you get a DUI or whatever, open container.
Yeah, open container, $100 fine, whatever.
So the next one, am I the a-hole for refusing to be a bridesmaid in my sister's wedding? I, 28 female, come from a big extended family, including me and my sister, 23 female. There are 24 female cousins and 17 male cousins. Half of the cousins are already married. When the first one ever asked me to be bridesmaids, I declined. When I attend a wedding, I want to have fun, eat food, and dance. In exchange, I will get you a gift. I do not want to spend my energy, time, and money on your big day. And when I get married, I will not have a bridal party, nor will I expect a bachelorette party. Well, all of my cousins understood there were no hard feelings. And to be honest, with that many cousins, it wasn't even an issue. Now, my younger sister is getting married. She asked me to be a bridesmaid, and I declined. And I did it very gently. I told her, sorry, but with working full time and being in the final stages of preparing my thesis and teaching some summer classes, that I would not be a good bridesmaid. Also, my sister is a total bridezilla. The dresses she is looking at for her party are $450, and she expects a weekend bachelorette party in Vegas with all the bells and whistles and wants everyone to attend dance classes to learn this elaborate dance to surprise her with. Surprising quotes. I do not have the energy for all that ish, is literally what she put. Now, she said, I am not invited to her wedding if I'm not willing to put forth the effort to make her day perfect. Then I do not deserve to be there. Honestly, I don't care. But my mom and some aunts are calling me an a-hole. So am I the a-hole?
First thought, yes. Yes, you are. Because you could set some boundaries around it and say, I will get the dress, but I'm not going to Vegas. I'm not doing any of this. I will be there on your wedding day. I'm not learning a dance. These are my stipulations. If you're okay with that, then I'll be in there. If not, then I'm out.
Yeah.
So initially, I think she sounds like the a-hole. It's just like, come on, your sister is getting married. Yeah, she's a bridezilla, but you know, it's a fun time. But I think I would set the boundaries like, this is what I can do.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then I can't be a part of it.
Yeah. Because then it would make her sister become the bad person.
Correct.
Because, yeah, I could see that. It's different with cousins and sister.
Yeah, cousins, whatever. No
Yeah.
way. I'd be like, nuh-uh.
Especially when there's that many. Think how much money you'd spend.
Yeah, no. And yeah, I would be pissed too if my for my sister, we went to California, flew the whole family, and the marriage was a sham anyways. And so you know what I mean?
Makes it worse.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so that was expensive. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Megan was in the wedding. Was I in the wedding? No, I was not in the wedding.
So Megan had to buy a bridesmaid dress.
Yeah.
Plus, you guys had to pay to get out there.
Yeah, it was me, Nolte, and Avery that went out there, and then of course Megan. But
that is not cheap at all.
No, it was a couple grand. But but yeah, I wish I never would have done it now. Now that the way the cards played out,
like looking back.
Yeah, looking back. But no, I think with those stipulations, I would be fine with it.
Yeah, the only other thing I would say is, hey, my gift to you is that I'm doing this and spending that much on a bridesmaid dress.
Yeah, that would be fine too. I mean, she clearly is a student and writing a thesis. I mean, she's busy. So she Vegas out.
$450 for a bridesmaid dress. What in the world are people doing?
I don't know. I don't think that's that expensive nowadays, honestly. I really don't.
Maybe not.
For a bridesmaid, yeah, you're not buying the dress at like Macy's. You know what I mean? You're buying it at a bridal shop. I think $450 is probably average.
We should ask our wives next week.
Yeah.
Let's make a note.
You better make the note because I will forget it.
So will I.
Yeah.
But okay, one last one. So am I the a-hole? I made myself and the kids some breakfast. I, 36 male, and my wife, 32 female, have 3 kids, 2 adopted, 7 male and 7 female. I don't know why that is relevant. And 1 is our biological kid, 5 female. I work in family medicine and have my own clinic, and my wife is a stay-at-home mom. I go to the gym every morning from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. and then take our 2 dogs for a walk at 5:30 a.m. Feed the dogs, cook breakfast, and wash dishes. I go to the clinic around 8 a.m. and come home around 8 p.m. I then cook dinner and wash dishes while my wife puts the kids to bed. I mow the garden and clean the bathrooms too. I usually buy groceries while coming home from work. My wife homeschools the kids, cleans the house, cooks lunch, and brings it to my clinic, washes dishes in the afternoon, laundry, pays bills, taking the dogs for an evening walk, feeding the dogs, and all the other work at home. Yesterday, my wife said she wanted to cook breakfast for me and the kids while it was a Sunday and we were all free. I did my usual routine of gym, took the kids and dogs to the park, and then fed the dogs. I also gave my car to the mechanic. By the time this was all done, it was almost 9 a.m. Not up by 9 a.m. as it is. The kids were starting to get hungry, and so was I. I went to the kitchen to check what my wife was doing. She had apparently not started cooking yet because her childhood friend had called her. So I asked her if I should make breakfast. She said that she'll be coming up in a few minutes. 30 minutes later, she was still on the call, so I cut up fruits for the kids to snack on while I made myself some chocolate waffles, bacon, and eggs. Also, a glass of milk for each of the kids and a cup of coffee for myself. When my wife got off the call, it was 12:30 p.m. The kids and I were watching Hotel Transylvania and eating popcorn, candy, chicken nuggets, and pizza. She got mad at me when she saw the food in the kitchen. She asked me to come to our bedroom. Then she started saying that I was very disrespectful by cooking breakfast, despite her having told me already that she wanted to cook today. I told her she can still cook lunch, but she said that the kids were eating junk food now and they wouldn't be hungry until at least 3 p.m. She refused to eat breakfast and said she's going to go with her sister for sushi. Before going, she told me, since you don't need me to cook, you can make lunch and dinner too. Am I the a-hole?
No,
No.
of course not.
What in the world?
Yeah, I often wonder how that was so detailed. It's like, is this for real, or are you just making a story up?
Well, he also is a doctor. I feel like doctors though would be detailed.
That's
people.
true. No, she's the a-hole.
I know.
Food is like whatever, bro. Like I'm hungry. Like you get a little bit of leeway, like a half hour, but after that, I'm making my own food, or I'm gonna go buy my own food. Or
yeah, well, can you imagine kids not eating until 12:30 p.m. and the nightmare they would be?
Yeah, right.
What?
No, that one's rough.
I would also have other opinions. I don't think the wife does as much as the husband in this marriage.
Sounds like they need to get rid of the dogs. I mean, they're walking the dogs twice a day. The dogs got brought up several times in that thing. I'm
like feeding dogs. Like, is it not just pouring dog food?
It takes like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then why are you walking them twice a day? I mean, that's great and all, but
yeah. So the other day we bought a bunch of like huge chicken breasts from Aldi, and there was extras. We cut it up. And now we give it to Izzy in the morning. I know. Well, first we boiled it.
Yeah.
Boil it.
Yeah, you didn't give it. I was assuming you weren't giving it to her raw.
Were those people?
Yeah, Frank is allergic to chicken, so
Ooh,
a lot of dogs are.
That makes it hard to buy food.
No, there's a lot of food that's made without chicken.
I guess there's the beef and pork and whatever else.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah.
I think like if I'm balancing this, I think that the husband in this marriage, and I know it's not true in a lot of marriages, the husband is actually doing quite a bit more than the wife. It sounds like it.
Yeah, I mean, raising kids is a bitch.
Yeah,
you know 100%. What I mean. So that's tough. Like I know Megan's tapped after like 2 or 3 days with the kids, and so,
but she also works full time.
Yeah, she does.
So like again,
so she's the stay-at-home mom.
Yeah,
yeah.
But again, I'm not there to judge that part. I have a couple thoughts on that, but I don't want to be branded a sexist.
No, I mean.
Especially after last week, I don't need to be any more like the conservative side.
Well, don't backtrack now, bro.
I'm not. I'm just saying I don't need to be more brave. But again, other than that, I think again, if your kids are not fed, especially if they're young kids, if they're not fed by 12:30, boom, that is your fault. You didn't time manage well.
Yeah, I feel like he was probably bummed out too because he probably wanted her to make it.
Yeah,
and
she failed.
Yeah,
she failed
did.
that.
Before we jump into personal update, before that, I want to get some feedback, give you some feedback about our last episode from my wife.
Yeah, let's go.
And she's like, man, that was spicy. I was like, yes, it was. She goes, it was really good. She goes, that's why I don't like arguing with you because you're such a debater. And she's like, you just get down and dirty in it. I was like, yeah, I know. She's like, why didn't you talk to me like this when we talked about abortion? And I'm like, honey, you're my wife. Like Mike and I are having like a heated discussion. Like there's different consequences. Not that we were being mean to each other, but I mean, like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like you're my wife. I don't want to be like, I do that enough. Anyways, but before we do jump into personal update, we do have our official sponsor. This is our first paid sponsor. We had the photography lady, but that we just traded services on that. But this is our first sponsor, and it's one I'm very familiar with. It's Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. They have been the sponsor for many years of Gig, but decided that It just wasn't working for them at the time. And so they said, we love Threads. We love what you're doing. You're passionate about a lot of the things that we're passionate about. And so we want to support you financially. So if you need your car repair in the West Michigan area, they are off 44th Street on Stafford, just east of 131. You can call them at 532-6600, or you can schedule service online, irvines.com. They work on everything but Volkswagens and Teslas. I made the mistake of saying when they rebranded and added the EV, I'm like, they'll work on Teslas. And then she's like, hey, we would love to work on Teslas, but they don't allow us to because they lock the software out.
Yeah, they're probably really picky about.
Yeah, so they work on everything but Teslas and Volkswagen. So you can get a free loaner car if you need to run errands and stuff like that. So check them out, 532-6600, or schedule service online, irvines.com. And of course, Megan, that we talked to earlier about a Patreon member, her parents own it. It's family owned, woman owned, and veteran owned. So nice. Jamie, the owner, owns 51%. Eric's the 49%.
Ooh, nice.
And she was an Air Force veteran. So. And
they're trustworthy, which is a huge thing with mechanics. I for a while had the worst luck with mechanics.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, how are you going to mess me over?
Well, for me, it didn't get fixed the first time.
Oh,
it was like, it's fixed. And then like a week later, it was, there was an issue. And Irvine's, their Google reviews are like insane. It's like a 4.1 average out of over 500,
which is crazy.
Yeah. And they always respond to everything.
So that's so cool. Cool. Awesome sponsor. Awesome people.
Yeah. Appreciate Irvine's. And that's ERVINES, not IRVINES. So
yeah. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to find it.
No, that you would not be able to find it. It's so weird. I swear like the live part isn't working, but it says it is. Usually Kate hasn't been on the last 3 weeks. Oh. Last time she's like, I didn't get a Patreon notification. So I don't know. I'll have to ask her.
Yeah.
And I know Megan was in a meeting because she owed us money. The card for the sponsorship didn't go through.
Oh,
and I got an email today. I was like, hey, let's go. We're not talking about it unless you pay it. No, I'm just kidding. So personal update, as you've heard many, many times, it's a high and a low. We kind of just talk what's going on for me. The high was Sully's birthday was over the weekend. It was really fun. Lots of cake, lots of pizza.
So were there lots of parties? More than one?
No, there was just two. He had a party for the kids, for friends in the neighborhood, friends in quotes. And then we had a family party the next day.
Okay.
With like Nolte and mother-in-law and stuff like that. So it was great. He is 12 years old and as weird as always. So that's okay. Another positive for me, started some strength training, and not those muscles, bro.
A little
waist down. Well, yeah, I'm doing the push-ups.
Okay.
That's just maintenance because I was doing push-ups before that. But I'm doing bottom strength training, from the waist down. And dude, I fired the top portion of my glutes with some of these exercises. I've never felt pain there before. I'm like, what did I do? Like, it wasn't pain that I injured it. It was like, hey, whoa, what are you doing with these?
So like even in kettlebell swings, you didn't fire those?
So yes and no. I don't do them as correct as I should. And I actually stopped them because I was hurting my
causing back pain.
Yes.
Because you weren't firing your upper glutes probably.
I know. Exactly. Ooh. And I've never been an upper glute guy anyways. Like I know when you run,
it's hammies and glutes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, I've never fired those really, but that like right in the booty right there. So
how much faster you're going to be because you can fire more muscles.
I mean, if I stick to it.
Yeah, you better. I'm going to, hold Jason accountable for booty exercises.
But I know I hooked up with this, found this trainer online. I watched one of his videos. I'm like, all right. I signed up for his email thing, and he sells a program, of course. Gives a ton of content away for free. And I've really liked what he's talked about. I started listening to his podcast, of course, because everyone's got a podcast now. Yeah.
So because you are one who does this more often, do you think you're going to buy one of his programs or be like a Patreon supporter?
I don't know if he has Patreon.
Okay, maybe he just does programs instead of Patreon.
Yeah, I'd have to look at it. I didn't even subscribe on YouTube. I was just watched a few videos. Okay. Yeah, I'm typically one that will support financially. I mean, his program's like $120. Mm-hmm. It's not horrible.
It's like right on the border.
Right. But he does communicate with email because he always said in his emails, if you ever have a question. So I didn't have a question. I emailed him back. I'm like, hey man, these strength exercises are great. It's going to be really great. And within like 4 hours, he's like, yep, you got to do it consistently though. Keep it up.
Ooh.
So I was like, oh, he's stuck with his word.
That's cool that he sends them back, or assistant does.
Somebody.
But still, which is huge.
Yeah. So,
cool.
And then the last thing for the high, I took a high road with a neighbor. And that's like a low too, but
tell me the story.
I'm trying to see if I can short this because I hate.
Tell me the unfiltered story.
We don't have all night. So there's a kid in the neighborhood that's somewhat neglected. Has a mom and a stepdad. Stepdad's not super involved. Does a lot of woodwork outside and just okay. But I'm not judging him too much because I am not as involved as I should be either. So that there's no judgment there. So we're in this group chat with all the other neighbors, and that kid's always missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's I would say he's 10. He plays Call of Duty. He's playing like MA games, and it's just I can see the writing on the wall with this kid. So Sully has had huge problems with him. They try to scare him, and the one kid that hangs with this other one is a fine kid, but when he's hanging with the other one, it kind of goes downhill. So it's just been an on and off problem. Fast forward, and Sully doesn't play with them a ton, but when they come to the door, he goes out. So fast forward, almost said his name. The other boy had a party on Friday. His birthday was on Friday, a day before Sully. So that was kind of cool. So Sully got invited. So he went there, and it was a very random, like, here's the birthday party. And then the kids are sleeping in the backyard. I'm like, oh, over my dead body. That ain't going to happen. And Sully wouldn't either. Anyways, he's not ready for sleepovers. And so I was like, all right, after about 2.5 hours, I sent Avery over there to get him. But apparently when she walked up, he busted out the door and was pretty upset. Come to find out, the boys had this is what Sully said. Now, this is where the autism is weird. He said the boys had tricked him into watching a funny video, and it was a scary one, and he was scared. So tricked I was like, did he trick? And he's like, well, I don't know if they tricked or if they just kind of went to it. So there was kind of maybe a little bit of lying, blah, blah, blah. So the mom texts me privately. And then we started a text chat, and oh boy, it got a little spicy. And I did good. I took the high road. Many times I typed it out. I'm like, your kid is an asshole. You know what I mean? And so I thought it ended on a good note. Basically, she said, she kind of called Sully a liar. Like, it wasn't scary. I talked to my kids, but I wasn't really supervising them. She even admitted that. She goes, I wasn't in the room. And then before that, she said she was in the room. So I'm already seeing inconsistencies in the text. So I'm like, red flag, red flag, red flag. So we kind of talked it out. And I'm like, at the end, I was like, hey, Sully, he has the autism and they know. And, he just responds different. And she's like, we know, we try to be as good as we can. I tried to catch him before he got too upset and blah, blah, blah. So she said all the right things. So I was like, okay, wasn't a great interaction, but I think we're good. Fast forward to Saturday, he didn't show up to the party.
Did they tell you that he wasn't, or just
nope,
just didn't show up?
Nope. And they confirmed he was going to come about a week or two before that. Now Sully didn't care because Sully's like, there's other friends here, and that kid, they're not. It's kind of not a bully, but kind of like,
yeah.
But I was like, you didn't even text.
Like, hey, I know I responded.
Just lie.
Yeah.
Something just say up. He doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
He didn't get enough sleep. Something.
People.
So pissed.
I bet. So did you want to go like storm the castle?
I wanted to text back and see. I knew it. I knew you and your kid are assholes. And
yeah.
And again, I actually don't blame the kid. He's clearly, they don't watch him.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? They're there. They feed him. You know what I mean? But they don't watch him. And it's just like, I want to be mad at the kid, but I need to be mad at the parents.
Yes.
And the worst part is, and it sounds bad, but she's pregnant. And so they're going to have another kid. And then this kid's going to be the outcast, right? Because stepdad and mom have their own baby now.
Yeah.
So I try not to hate on the kid too much, but
Yeah. See, my heart's broken for the kid because the kid has no. Of course, the kid's gonna be who the kid
Of
is.
course. If he's unsupervised, he's a straight up boy. He's got a pocket knife. Like he's gonna be the trouble kid. Those are the kids that are gonna slip through the cracks for school shooters. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's gonna be him, of course, but
Yeah.
and he's not disrespectful. He's very quiet when he's around us. It's not like he's running his mouth or anything like that. Not yet. But I mean, like, I couldn't believe when he didn't show up. I'm like, you just made a statement. Now, what is your opinion about me texting her back? I have not. I mean, they're 3 doors down.
Yeah, but like, would it do any good to be like, hey, your kid didn't show up at this point?
No, but I'm like, I am actually hurt. I thought
Yeah.
about saying, hey, that really hurt my feelings that Zeke. Hey, that really hurt my feelings that your child didn't show up.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering what happened. And
Hmm.
just to see, because if you read the text, she's not being, it was a little spicy, but it wasn't like we were calling each other names. I just said I was frustrated and she said she was frustrated. So it's like she thought it was a big misunderstanding. And then I thought everything was good.
I would let it lie,
Yeah.
especially if they're that close of neighbors. I feel like get some extra just especially if the kid's already spicy towards your son. You just see it being extra like worse for him if you bring it up, because I assume that that mom doesn't have a filter and will say to her son something.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to Sully is going to get bullied and I'm going to have to be restrained from beating kids' ass.
Mhm.
I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
If I find that out, oh man, that principal and that middle. So right now it's not so bad, right? You're
Yeah.
going to be in 6th grade. He has a lot of people that love him. They've grown up with him at this school. No one probably messes with him.
Yeah.
I've never heard any bullying at where he's at. But the following year, he goes to middle school, and that's 7 elementaries that go to one school. And then
Yep.
after that is the high school. And that they didn't grow up with Sully.
Correct.
So I'm like tingly now just thinking about it. So.
I know. I can see the reaction in you.
Yeah.
They're going to have to put you on a lot of medication.
More?
Yeah.
I'm already on 2.
Like a numbing. So you're just like a zombie all the time.
No, that's not nice.
But it may be true. No, or we'll get into mental health. Maybe that will help you with that.
Well, hopefully it's further down the road and I'm better off at that point. I mean, I'm doing good now. So
Yeah.
What about you? I've been talking a lot. I have to drink so much water. You're high. I don't really
What?
Oh, I do have a little low, but we'll touch back.
We'll touch back in there. So start off with a so high. Back to training. It's good to have a purpose again with working out. This is the pre-half marathon training I'm doing, but it's still like giving me, okay, yep, I'm getting ready. So in the training here, so that's helpful. And then today, so Natalie and I, the other day, we decided we needed to power wash our deck. We've been there 4 years. We power washed it once, never got to putting anything on the deck. Power wash it again. And today there was a perfect packet. It was like 48 hours after power washing, and it didn't look like rain for the next 48 hours.
So do you follow the instructions to a T with that?
Not to a T, but try to be close. I mean,
okay. I appreciate that. I'm a rule follower in that. Like if it doesn't line up perfectly, I'm like, nope, gotta punt.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be perfect, but also, I mean, like it had been a good 2 solid days. Hadn't rained in a day, so it was pretty dry. But the color we got was a little more orange than we wanted. So then I had to go somewhere today, and I knocked out the whole freaking deck, finished it all, including the edging, and I never finish projects.
No, are you bad with that?
I am terrible with that.
Like the studio,
like I get it like 80% done. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but this one knocked it completely out. 1 day done.
You don't have to put a second coat on?
No.
Oh, really? Good job.
That's a nice coat on that. But done, finished. Because you're supposed to be able to see through it. It's a heavier stain.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to be able to see through it a little bit. So boom, done. Natalie's happy.
Good job.
It's like, yeah, finally.
Isn't that feel good when you finish a job though? You should try more of them.
I know. And we'll talk more in mental health about what a huge win that was. And then I'll go first on my low is I have been in the dumpers.
You put dumpers. I'm like
dumpers. I've been like down in the dumper. I know it's dumpsters, but like just this tired funk. Like, and you probably notice I don't message right away in the morning. I'm not early, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's when I started training. Again, I'm just like wake up. I'm like, was so tired.
You know, I haven't noticed. So that at least for
Okay.
that, I mean, I've been, I haven't really noticed. So
Okay. Well, that's
that's good. Yeah,
I always feel bad when you're the first one to message every day in a row.
bro, I'm up at 5:30.
But you normally don't message right away. I just feel
No, I
bad.
don't.
I just feel I'm like, oh, because again, I've been in friendships where like the only conversation happens is when you message first. Like you've been in those, right?
Yeah.
Those are annoying. So I'm like, oh, like I'm not. But again, yeah, it's just been a weird funk. Down in the dumpers.
Down in the dumpers. Huh. I wonder what it is.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's a post Colorado letdown and then afterwards started working. I don't know. I don't
I
know what
bet
it
it
is.
is. That you kind of had that with Israel too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was that one went on for a bit.
Yeah, that one went on for a bit, but it was less than what I had to do. In Colorado was on me.
True.
It is different being like the person who's responsible for getting everybody home. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird and so it's something that I'm keeping an eye on because if it stays low for too long, then I need to figure something out.
So would you say you're more mentally low or just physically? I mean, it's both, obviously.
I think it comes out physically. It's probably more mental that's causing the physical, would be my guess.
Okay.
Based on what I know.
Do you have a plan for that or not? You're just gonna wait and see for a bit?
Yeah, let's give it a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
Let's see how it is.
I think you need to get into the training. I think you need to shut up and start working out in the training plan.
Yeah, Monday. Monday it happens.
Oh, Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were doing one more week off.
No, it starts this coming Monday.
Oh, that's right, because I did it last week and this week.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, I'm always here for you, buddy.
I know.
If you ever need to vent or, swear or whatever.
Be all sad and depressed.
Right.
All by myself.
Whatever. Low for me and kind of in the same boat as you. I've been extra edgy, which kind of has to do with mental health, but just in general, just a little. I gave my son some shit when he walked in. That's the first thing. I have this habit of kind of being a snarky dick when people come in right away. Like my goal is not to upset them, but I'm trying to make a joke instead of saying, "Hi, how you doing?" I'm just like, "Oh, what's up?" And I say it whatever it is.
Yeah.
So Nolte came in yesterday for Sully's party and he walked in with a grocery bag with presents.
Yep.
But I didn't see that they were wrapped in there. I'm like, what? You couldn't even wrap the gifts? And they were wrapped in there. I was like, well, I actually did circle back with him.
Okay, good.
And I was like, hey, man, I need to work on this. I'm sorry. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, it's okay. If I had a problem with it, I would have told you. I'm like, I don't think you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because he had looked at Yalen after I said it and they kind of chuckled. Yalen is his girlfriend.
I figured.
And so I think they were talking about it in the car.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
he's like, this is how my dad's going to react to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we've one time he came because he's got really long hair. So he's got a little man bun. And so we used to tease him about that. And then he got fussy about it and blah, blah, blah. So I've just been extra edgy. And I just need to not be a dick.
So I'm going to ask you the same question you just asked me. What's your game plan? Do you know what's causing it, or is it?
Yeah, I know what's causing it.
Okay,
it's in the mental health, bro.
Okay, so we'll get there in the mental health.
All right, airing of the grievances.
My only thing. This is based on Joseph Reed's. It's just I just want to talk about it. It's not really an airing the grievance. It's just I wanted to talk about it, so I figured I'd find a spot to put it.
Okay. I was very confused when I saw it, so I was like, what does this even mean?
So Joseph E. Reed said, "Is a calm approach always the best approach?" ?
And I wrote, nope. I was the first one that commented.
You're right, nope. And then he said, why not? And then you said, sometimes heat is needed.
Yep.
Okay. So explain that to me, because I think I've changed my answer over time, but I think I can be persuaded either way.
I mean, yes, I think in the long run, being calm does. So if you take heat and calm, I think calm wins out almost every time.
Yep.
But sometimes you need some heat when someone's taking advantage of you.
Okay.
And that's how I always look at it. And everyone is a suspect until proven innocent to me. And I don't know what that world is like the other way. Like Megan is like everyone's trust everyone until they, the other way around. So I think sometimes you need some heat. Sometimes you're not being treated appropriately. And I feel like, no, I'm going to give you some heat. Now, does it turn out great? I mean, sometimes it doesn't, but the calm way doesn't always either. But I will agree, calm will probably outwin heat every time.
So what if it's this? Maybe it was worded weird because somebody else. I read more of the comments after yours. What if it was be in control always? What if like the calm is more of an in control rather than it's okay? What if it's like you're in control but you're firm? You're like, stop.
No, yeah, I think that. Yeah, but you can't do that.
You can't.
You can't.
I can't be like, hey, stop.
Yeah, but you're not at calm all the time. It's impossible.
No.
He's asking an impossible question.
No, well, of course it's impossible, but is it a goal?
Yes, it would be a goal to always be calm because that's the way to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you should run shit.
Yeah. Well, some people said like, hey, you can't be firm. I think you can be firm and calm, or maybe firm, firm and in control. Right? Calm can have two different meanings.
I wasn't planning on bringing it up, but I will. My sister reached out to me, Nicole.
Okay.
In a very dark spot, and we connected, and it was great. I said it. I'm so proud of myself with boundaries. I'm like, I will text you, no phone calls, only voice messages or text. She's like, okay. So we voiced back because it's just
you've mentioned it.
When you call her, it's a shit show, and towards the end, I was like. It had something to do with her kids. I'm like, remember, be firm but loving. Be firm but loving. I said that like 3 times because she was having some kids run her rampant and just disrespecting.
Look at you with sage advice.
I know, and that's kind of what I would say in this calm. That like, be firm but loving, or be firm and calm.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, that was not really an error in the agreement. So it's just a question I had based on.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That was cool. I
Joseph E. Reed.
Yeah, it's so weird. Speaking of Ben Crocker, I had saw he posted on someone else's Facebook post that I was friends with, and I was just bummed out. I was bummed. I'm like, you're still Facebook like it's like a divorce, right?
Yeah,
you're still Facebook friends with him, and he like put this long response, and I was just like. Reading it, I was like, I'm still bitter, by the way, if you haven't noticed.
So we're gonna go somewhere else, and we can always delete it if we don't think it's comfortable. Related to Ben, so his dad posted on something because in Holland they want to do fiber for everybody.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So they want to do this. Well, there's this think tank which is probably paid for by by Comcast, which is trying to say, well, it'll be bad. Holland runs my power and water, and they're cheaper than consumers and all of the other.
Yeah,
like they do a great job with it. But anyways, his dad's like this whole thing, and I'm just like response. I'm like, well, Ben's probably gonna see this, but anyways, I'm gonna respond back to his dad. Well, because it's like whole
he lives in Zealand anyways, so he doesn't even have a say in it.
I know, but it's this whole thing, and I'm like, actually, like I as a Holland resident love that BPW runs my power. I pay half the amount of consumers, and I've only been out for my. I've been in Holland since 2011. Been out without power for 5 hours total. And one of it was because a branch fell behind our house and knocked out like 4 houses.
Yeah.
And that was the longest time. Otherwise, it had been an hour.
Okay.
So I'm like, why in the world wouldn't I want them running my internet?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not like they're running it. They're just getting it at a cheaper price and just passing the savings on to you.
Exactly.
It's still going to be fulfilled by whoever, Comcast or AT&T or whatever it is.
Well, and that's how it is downtown for the businesses and stores. They can get it through Holland as well. They just want to spread it out now throughout the whole city.
Yeah.
And it's really fast internet. I'm like, why in the world? Anyways, I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh.
Did he respond back to you?
No, of course not.
No.
Well, I mean, he doesn't know who I am, but I just thought it was interesting. I was like, but it took a second. Do I respond? I'm like, I would respond to anyone else. And
that's so funny that we both had interactions like that. I mean, what Ben wrote, it was fine. It was something about. I want to bring it up.
But it was just one of those weird ones where you were a little like,
I was, because I haven't really seen anything written by him in a while, and we haven't like connected. And so it was just a little weird when I saw that. Why can't I find the search bar?
Because it's over in the left now.
Oh,
there's
there
a little
it is.
button.
Yeah.
Because Facebook must change.
Oh
everything.
my gosh, they do. I have the caps locks on. I'm not sure why. I'm being like a boomer.
Be that guy.
I know I'm that guy. He wrote, this is actually a good question. I would be interested in your response. So this guy's a Zaniac. He's actually been on our show for Threads. I think when we had the big we had a bunch of people on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his name is Chris Bruinsma. Oh yeah, he was
at Fire.
Yeah. He wrote, is it more acceptable, quote in parentheses, popular to be gay than straight in today's world?
I saw that one.
Oh, are you friends with him on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
And also, I saw Ben's response too.
Oh, okay. So you knew what I was talking
yeah.
about.
Well, I didn't know without you saying who it was.
Right. Sorry. I don't know. I mean, of course, shut up. But anyways, what is your thought about that?
It's becoming more socially acceptable, but it's not more than.
No,
it's still difficult for anyone who is struggling, like coming out to family or any of that. No,
yeah.
So,
it's funny. I see all the gay jokes under there. Someone in his family too, like Fudge Packer.
Why do people do that?
I don't know.
I'm so sick of people doing that shit. It's probably Christians doing that shit. See, now I'm back to the real Mike. After last week.
You want to go back into the abortion talk? And now that you're there?
Now I'm back there now.
Oh my gosh.
So is there any grievances that you have?
I don't, other than no, I really don't have anything other than I want to spend more time with you, and you guys are like douchebags about it.
Natalie was mad at you the other day. She's like,
what?
Jason hasn't responded to my here's a date.
Yeah, when did she respond? I have 17,000 chats.
I don't know.
So we can for sure do August 20 and maybe able to do July 30th. I wrote okay.
But you didn't say, hey, when? And
we can do both.
I want you and Natalie to talk next week. That's gonna be the most interesting part of the show.
Yeah, me and Natalie.
Yeah,
you're gonna write some questions that are like,
I think both of you could go at each other and have no qualms, and I could sit back and laugh. And I think Megan might be a little uncomfortable with that. Well, she at times will rephrase the things you say in group chats with the four of us.
Who, Megan?
Yeah, she'd be like, what Jason really meant to say.
Yeah, she doesn't like inter-group teasing.
I know.
I think she's fine if in person, but for whatever reason, she doesn't like that. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Part of me just likes to watch the world burn, so I like to.
Yeah, and she doesn't like that either.
So Jason, mental freaking health.
Yes. What about it?
How you've said that you're gonna update us on kind of why
you're
feeling extra edgy, and it deals with mental health therapy.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a long or short of it, but I mean, I still haven't officially done an EMDR session. I do have session this week. Again, as soon as I got the notification, I got antsy. I get it every Monday or every other Monday. Yeah. And so, yeah, we're meeting on Friday or on Wednesday at 5:00. And so we'll see what happens. I mean, we just start discussion. She's like slowly like doing stuff while I'm talking, but we haven't grabbed them. But I feel like I want to jump in and be like, she gives me an opening, like, so how you been before? And she's like, do you feel like you're ready or in a space to do that? I'm like, no, Heather, walk me in, throw the little vibrator things at me. Vibrators. They're not dicks, people.
Yeah, it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Hemispheres and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Throw them at me and let's get to work. But so that's Wednesday. I'm a little nervous about it. Again, last time we just started talking and we ended up doing some, I think what Megan calls brain spotting, but not EMDR officially. I got freaking fruit fly down there. I think I gotta empty the trash. Anyway, sorry, so random. So that's kind of where I think I'm edgy. Yeah. Megan, I don't know. It's got to be all subconscious because it's not like I'm thinking about it. But I know a couple days after last session, I was just kind of.
So it's kind of leading up to it because right now, I can tell you're antsy, looking forward towards it.
Yeah,
I mean, you said it and can see it in your face. But also then post that you were a little edgy last time. So Megan gets a couple nice days every 2 weeks.
No, I mean it's fine. I mean, I'm working through it. Like today I came home a little edgy and then she kind of like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm just, whatever it is. And so it is what it is. I was told, and it is correct, there will be some bumpy roads for this. When you're tapping into stuff that I mean, I'm talking about stuff I've never spoke to anyone ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And like,
And it's some deep shit, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows what's going on in my brain right now?
Yeah, and what it's digging up and what's digging up around it. Well, and that's why you delayed EMDR, right? So that you and Megan could do some couples therapy, so that because you knew it was going to be tough.
Yes, and then we kind of just started it now because we looked at our summer schedule and Megan was missing almost every Wednesday. I was like, "Hun, I think it's time for me to do it," and she was fine with that.
Yeah.
So,
but all that to say though, you guys have a good base going on. Where
yes,
6 months ago you wouldn't have had this base.
correct. You're 100% right with that. That's a good point.
Well, and that, I think I just remember you saying that, which is wise because like you're gonna dig into deep shit.
If we're not great,
Yeah,
that's gonna just make it worse.
Yeah.
So
Where she knows how to interact with that, and
she did say, and I cautioned her. She's like, she's kind of doing the tiptoe thing, and I said, no. I said, do not do that. I said, if you come to me and talk to me, I might say, I don't have the space for right now. I'm really struggling, but I don't want you to hide because that's what she did before.
yeah,
And I
it's
don't
going
want,
back.
I don't want that. Like she's worked so hard and it's just, she's so kind and her brain just was wired to not cause issues and not, and be the person that fixes them. And so I was like, no, I like stopped her. I'm like, no, you will tell me, like, not like that. I'm like,
You will tell me.
you will tell me your complaints about me. I want to suffer.
But again, though, because to me, though, that's my biggest sign that I am not in a good spot is when Natalie starts to tiptoe or fawn.
Yes.
It's like, oh shit, something's wrong. I didn't
Yep.
realize how bad it was, right? Because again, right, you can be a little crusty. Like I'm just a little crusty, but if you notice her like withholding things, I can see that.
Yeah, like why didn't she get after me about this?
Yeah.
You're like, that's a red flag. Yeah, I need to get my shit together. What about you?
So I just even today. So what I've been learning with ADD, I'm not being diagnosed, but I have it, and I've just been trying to learn more about it. And so what I've learned is to follow the dopamine. When dopamine hits, so I just have these weird days where like my mind is locked in and I can get shit done.
Wow.
Like it's a superpower, but that usually means a couple of days after I'm just like do TikTok all day. So welcome at work tomorrow. I will not be on this, but like today I was just like, you know what? I have time and space and I'm ready to go. I'm like, let's just do the whole dang thing. Cause we were going to wait till night. Like, okay, threads tonight. Okay. Maybe Tuesday night we'll do. I was like, boom, done. And just followed the dopamine as far as it would lead.
And then it was really cool when you got done. Because then it was more dopamine.
Yeah. And it looks amazing. And then now, of course, once you do the deck, then Natalie's like, what about the fence? Can we paint that so it goes well with that? Like a white fence to go with the dark deck. And then it's like, well, how about the table? Which is all fine, right? That's just, I need more dopamine days.
Sounds like we'll do that next year, honey. But why don't you go finish out your ADD stuff?
Because I don't have a dopamine day. I need a dopamine day to be like, let's go conquer this.
I mean, I can just be an asshole every day until you go do it.
Yeah, but like I'm trying not to be on. I don't want to be on meds.
Don't be like me. I don't want to be on meds either. But once I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Well, not because it's meds, because people who've been on meds have talked about the horribleness of the meds.
Yeah, you know what?
For ADD.
Well, yeah, but you have to, excuse me, you have to experience it yourself. If it's bad, you're like, okay, this ain't worth it.
Yeah, but there's some like really dark shit that happens with those meds. Like some really depressing.
You found that on Google, on a .com site, on Reddit?
From friends.
Everyone's chemistry is different.
True, but like if that's a reaction, again, that's what's making me.
And I've also heard too, if you don't have ADD and you take that medication, it totally messes with you.
It was just for an hour a day. A friend of mine talked about how it was one of the darkest hours every single day, and he knew it was coming. Well, because that's when the medicine starts to wear off.
Yeah.
And then again, it really messes with you. Anyways,
I think you should.
Maybe I should, but again, there's things I'm doing like knowing. So like before I'd be like, no, this is day off. I'm supposed to like rest or Sabbath. I was like, nope, following the dopamine.
Yeah, but if you can't have one day a month where you get shit done,
like one day a week, you know,
even that. You should have 5 and then have a couple blow off days.
Yeah, but these dopamine days are amazing though.
Yeah.
They're like locked in.
What else did you do today?
Got that all done though. One fell swoop.
I did one thing today.
but it was one fell swoop, the whole project.
I'm not mocking that it was a big job. Like, and he didn't do it in one day. You power washed it a couple times. So, I mean,
No, we power washed it days ago.
yeah.
Power washed it days ago. Had to go to, you get 1 gallon and you think it's going to be enough, and 2 is barely enough.
Well, I think you should get your whatever checked out.
We should ask Natalie next time.
Ooh, write it down because we'll forget. And then you have a bonus faith segment.
Yeah.
Are you writing it down?
My God.
Should Mike go to Pine Rest? Oh, no, that's not what it says.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Be a vacation.
No, it wouldn't. Oh, somebody would probe you.
Ooh. And too far. Okay, so bonus faith thing. So just an idea. You can tell me if it's stupid. So you have been wanting to go back to church.
It's already stupid. Yep. Go ahead.
But you've talked about it, right?
Yep.
So I am preaching twice in August. Once at my church, once at another church. I think if you'd go to one, you should go to the one that's not my church.
Why?
Because it's gonna be a better sermon. Yeah, it's more fun topic. The one at my church is confession, which the other one is David and Goliath. David and Goliath is much more fun.
I want to go to your church and be like, I'm the asshole. I'm the one that says the F word.
To the few, actually, there are a few people at my church who do listen. So, anyways, if that's a way back in, that's not like your church, and again, you never would have to go back to this church.
Yeah, I have some big updates about church too, but we just don't have any time today. We may have to push it till September.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have to process through it a little bit.
So anyways,
I would think about it. I mean, depending on the dates, I'm gone a week in August.
It's August 7 and August 14. So
oh no, I'm not gone for either of those.
Ooh. So anyways, it is out there. There's no pressure, but you talked about it last time. You wanted to get back into church. I kind of feel like you need to process a little bit of big church updates, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not pressuring you
tonight.
Yeah,
no, we're way over time. Yeah, we're over an hour right now.
But there was a lot of BS in the beginning. I feel like it's
no. I have to think about it before I speak on it.
Okay, that's fair.
We can talk about it after.
You want to be calm and you want to think through it. Look at you. Look at you. Listen to Joseph E. Reed.
Damn it, Joseph E. Reed. You did it again. Oh my gosh. But so any final thoughts?
That's been a rabbit trail.
Yeah, it's one more episode. I can't believe we're already here.
I know.
I'm excited for the break to go dark for a month.
Finally.
Finally.
No, but it's just one of those where it's like every week it's okay. It'll be good. It'll mean better content when we come back again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're obviously gonna do a little bit of social media, nothing crazy, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of you're not gonna hear us just because I think it's good. It's good to have those breaks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I kind of equate it to me doing W-2 job, lawn care, and then I get to do gig work, and it's great. Like
yes,
I get
for both.
Yeah, I get excited at the end of the season. I'm like, all right, time for gig work, and then by end of February, I'm like, okay, I'm broke because I'm tired of whatever. I'm ready to get back to make my W-2 job. But so yeah, it'll be good. So we have one more episode next week with the wives,
our
wives.
Look at you! Look at you messing that up.
Did you see me panic?
And you're like, which phrase am I not supposed to use?
I know. I looked at you like, give me some mental. Tell me in my head before I say it. So that's going to be fun. All four of us in here. Natalie has not been on the show other than when you guys were together. She's never been in the 4 group.
She's never been in this studio.
No,
she's never. Well, she's been to your house, but never in the studio.
I thought she came down for something.
No, well. Wasn't when I was here. Why?
Whoa. Did you know this table turns into a bed? No. Anyways,
she's gonna kill you for that.
Is she? I'm really excited. I think Megan and Natalie together. I think we're gonna just sit back and they're gonna just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just see what you write for a plan.
I don't even know what to write. Like that's the hard thing.
I think we should go over some of the episodes. And Megan says she does not want to talk about abortion that has already been laid out, and I'm like. Okay, totally fair. Oh, and I was told to let Natalie know that we are video recording, so make sure she dresses appropriately. Hey,
I know what you mean.
yeah, because apparently when Denef and Megan were on, they didn't know that was video recording. I'm like,
So they were wearing like clothes like they didn't feel it was camera worthy.
yeah, I mean, I thought it was fine, but I mean, I don't
Wow.
really care either. But anyways, so yeah, that's coming up next week. So if you are a Patreon member, you can see it live. I don't know why anyone's not on tonight. I'm worried that it's not working. But anyways, if you sign up between now and then, you can watch it live.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah. And then always we have we talked about Patreon and then the newsletter that Mike does a good job on, that is free. There's always some bonus content. Last time it was my bees, and I did get stung yesterday. Those Emmer effers. I was mowing the lawn. They never bother me. And yesterday, trick or treat, I got like 4 feet away. It got me right in the ankle.
First, I thought you were gonna say there were 4 of them.
Oh no.
Gosh,
Just one. So and then as always, keep the faith, do your work, and live life unfiltered.
Peace. It's went low with the unfiltered.